He's doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah, hey Chris, nice to meet you, man.
You too, bud. Appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, sure
And
thing.
yeah, you should give him a little spiel about your the food truck.
Yeah, so it's a lot of spins on barbecue. So we're doing pulled pork in a bunch of different ways, egg rolls, sandwiches, tacos, kind of a trip around the world with pulled pork, and just about everything smoked. So even when we do chicken tacos, that's going to be smoked. Just about everything we do is barbecue with a twist, basically. So our tagline is barbecue tweaked for the streets. You know, everybody says something with a twist. We kind of wanted to not go that same vein that everybody seems to be doing. So right now, that's kind of our tagline: barbecue tweaked for the street.
I like that.
Yeah. Our logo is basically. I wish I had a way to share that with you guys. Actually, I might. Be kind of crappy over the video, but
You can,
uh,
let's see if you can add a link. I don't know if you can. Or, yeah, maybe you can just, might be easiest just to show us if you can, yeah.
yeah, I can maybe show you the video, which we'll see how well that
The
you guys
pickle.
make that out.
All right, cool. Is that on a bottle cap?
It is. So it's kind of the. I guess the thought behind that is if you look at the pig, if you can see, he looks a little bit hammered himself.
He's
So
pickled.
hence the pickled. Um, it also ties into a lot of our toppings and a lot of things that goes with the pork. There's a bunch of different pickled vegetables that we're using. So it kind of has multiple tie-ins with the theme.
Okay.
But that's kind of it, man. Yeah, just basically a lot of different barbecue stuff, pork centric. We do pork belly as well. Of course, bacon's in there, but yeah, that's it. That's the idea.
Cool. Are you in the same location? Do you move around? Do you have spots that you frequent?
So we do. We've got right now. We're working with fixed spots. We've got the bar scene kind of covered on Friday and Saturday nights in a particular area. We are doing stuff around the county jails in the mornings because that's probably the best foot traffic for us in downtown Houston. But we will, as time goes on, we will start to be more mobile. You know, we've kind of got these fixed locations set up for right now, but we will definitely follow some of the different meetups, some of the different festivals.
Cool.
Yeah, in fact, I just registered my domain name this morning. I couldn't get the Pickled Pig. I had to get the Pickled Pig Houston. Was the only thing available. So yeah, so right now I just kind of need to get my website going, set up all my social media as well.
Okay, great. I can help out really all those areas. I see pickledpig.net is available too.
Yeah,
So what did you get?
yeah.
ThePickledPigHouston.com?
So I got the picklepighouston.com. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I might recommend picking up like pickledpig.net too.
yeah.
Maybe dropping the.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it costs like $12 a year. So if 6 months from now you decide you want to use that, and you can always use more than one domain name,
Right.
forward to the site.
Okay.
Also, I mean, promotionally, I love the slogan, the tagline, barbecue tweaked for the street. I was just thinking maybe, let's see. Yeah, like if you wanted to do some sort of promotion or some sort of subdomain or another domain that you could use, tweakedforthestreet.com is available. Barbecue
Okay.
Tweaked for the Street is probably available,
Yeah.
where you could have some sort of promotional standalone site, or I don't know, just an idea that came to me.
Okay.
Because that's a cool little slogan.
Yeah.
Barbecue Tweaked for the Street.
So we going with BBQ? tweet for the
Yeah, I
street?
was thinking. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's
BBQ.
immediately. And
Yeah,
that's colloquial. That's how
originally,
they do it. Is BBQ like in the Houston area? That's the way it goes.
uh,
BBQ.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's less. Actually, it was more of a design on the truck issue, not taking up so much room,
Yeah.
having it take the whole freaking truck to spell that out. Originally, I wanted to actually just say Q tweaked for the street, and the graphics guy I'm working with is like, not everybody knows what Q is, which I kind of fought him on for a while and finally just gave in. But I think just about anybody that knows food, especially people that are going to food trucks, are typically the more adventurous, more probably a little bit more hip to odd and different cuisines than anybody else. And I was having a hard time kind of explaining that to this guy, but barbecue works too.
Foodie.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's a lot of foodies that are going to these
they're
things,
going.
so they know they're hip. But yeah, I'm fine with that. But barbecue works. So
Yeah, so at pickledpig.net is available if you'd
okay.
like to snag that. So you said you're working on your website too?
Well, I just registered the domain name like literally right before we had this call.
Cool.
So um, yeah, that's something that I'll have to start building. I mean, right now, you know, we have our dinner menu locked down. We probably have about 80% of our lunch, and we have nothing locked down on our breakfast.
Okay.
So, still some things to figure out. Like we should be on the road, not this coming Friday, but the following.
Okay.
We kind of got some stuff to button up before we do that. But what are some ideas that you would say that we definitely need to keep in mind for that?
Well, I think um, it would be nice, since it is a mobile, even if you have fixed spots where you set up, you should probably have some place where people can go for info on you, whether that's a website or a Facebook page. Since your
Mm,
truck is mobile, like, oh, I wonder if Pickled Pig's around. How do I find out? They don't have any way right now of knowing at all.
right,
Um, Whereas if you had a website, that even if it's just a one-page website with your little your spiel you just gave me, a sampling of your menu and the fixed spots where you normally are.
right,
Then at some point, as down the road, you can even have there could even be a little spot that says if you're at where you are like right now, like if you're at outside of a bar, it'll show them where you are. Then it'll be important to have the website be mobile friendly, where if somebody wanted to pull up the website on mobile, they could see
mm,
you're right outside a bar they want to go to later, or you're going to be at
right,
that bar.
right,
Because your truck is mobile, mobile should play an important part too.
right.
And more than 50% of web traffic is mobile now. So
Okay.
for mobile stuff, I mean, more than 50% is on a smartphone or a tablet.
What
And I'll
would you?
tell you what, Chris, is that I've been messing around building. I just sent you a link on Facebook to the site that I've been building for my psychology stuff,
Uh-huh.
and it's under construction right now. I've just been screwing around and trying to learn how to use Wix, and I tell you what, it's a really easy platform once you kind of learn it. Like we just walked you through this Google Hangout, and boom, you're here. That's kind of
Right,
how Wix works. And Wix
right,
actually has two different designs. You can actually switch from. Eric actually walked me through this yesterday. Is you just use you can actually edit it in mobile view specifically for mobile, and actually have a different version of the same site, same URL for desktop. So
okay,
those are really easy change. I mean, you could have your laptop Wi-Fi connection in the truck, change the menu right there, right through Wix, bam.
right,
I mean, I don't know if that's something that you have the time or the whatever to do right now, or your partner can. But there's a lot of existing platforms to make your website easy and be able to get people to funnel people. And Eric has a really solid view on social media as a closed network, and the fact that you actually got to get people there first before you start to see value in it. And so I don't know if you want to jump in there on that and
Yeah,
run down that.
that's a good segue, man. So yeah, I mean the website you want to have because that's when people are looking for you and they are looking online, you want to be there. I mean they're looking for you. That's
Right.
going to be the minority of people. They're not going to be, not all the people that eat up from your truck are going to want to search you online, but the ones who are searching, you want to make sure you have a presence somewhere.
Sure.
You want to be found instead of them finding nothing. But a majority of the people that are going to find you, you're going to later on, you're going to reach them probably via social media once you've built up that following. Here's the difference. Like um, with a website, people have to actively go out and search for your website and find your website.
Right.
Actively go do that. When's the last time like you've been hungry and you've actually searched for a particular restaurant or Googled it or something? Not too often, right?
Not a lot, no.
But if you were browsing Facebook and you saw, I don't know, maybe Pizza Hut had a special going on, or Pizza Hut put a little Facebook post out there, me personally, I'd go, hey, that looks pretty good. Hey, honey, you want to go to, Pizza Hut? They have a $10 pizza. So you're reaching those people in their newsfeed. You're going to them versus them having to go find you.
Gotcha.
That's the
There's
power.
a psychological aspect there too, Eric, is that there's some basically what you do is your neural network gets primed, so you see it, and now you're primed for it, and then now you're out and about, you've already been primed for it. So you prime people for the Pickled Pig when they're going to come out in Houston.
That's
So-
true. And advertising and branding, and that has to do with to get into geeky Patrick talk too, like your memory functions, and how your memory functions, and so that'll trigger your memory a little bit later on. And as long as you keep frequency is important too. One little Facebook post isn't going to do a whole lot. You'd have to see a few of them, and then later when they're hungry, they might immediately in their head just might think of your barbecue.
Yeah, we're keeping it in the front of the skull, keeping it on the tip of the tongue.
Yeah, front of mind, top of mind awareness is what they call it. And also with social media, so if you're going to be at a bar, say someone's browsing their Facebook feed and they're planning on going out tonight, and they see a post from you, hey, we're going to be outside let's say you were in State College, we're going to be outside the saloon tonight. All right, cool. So then, they know you're going to be there. They're out drinking after they're done or before. They see you there. They knew you were going to be there and they saw you, and maybe they had planned for it or maybe not. But acquiring those likes and those followers, you're basically building your own channel that you can then use to push information out and reach them sort of for free. But sometimes you have to pay Facebook a little bit to reach all of your fans. We can get more into that later. But those are the two or three areas I'd focus on. Making sure you have a website for when people are searching for you that you want to be on. Even if it's just at first just a one-page website, like that's totally fine. So you want to be found when they're searching for you. I'd probably recommend pickledpig.net. But keep the other one. You can have them both forward there. So if it's the one, that actually helps with search engine optimization too. I mean, if you wanted to we could actually research and see if anyone is searching barbecue Houston or whatever, barbecue. If people are searching for something, you can buy a domain for the search purposes. We can look through Google's data and we can see that, oh shoot, 500 people a month are searching for barbecue in Houston. Well, if that's the case, maybe we buy barbecueinhouston.com and just have it forward to your pickledpig.net site.
Gotcha.
Then that domain would just be used to pull people in.
Gotcha. Kind of a catch-all.
Financially, that might make sense. I wouldn't recommend buying 40 domains or anything, but they're only about 10 or 15 bucks a year. So if there are a few that we have just for those purposes, it'd probably be worth it. But have one domain as your primary domain that sits up at the top, and I would probably go with pickledpig.net. Just it's your name, pickledpig.net. It's just simple and easy to remember. And then if you ever say expand too, you're not left with a Pickled Pig Houston domain.
Right.
Who knows?
Right. That makes sense. And the guy that I've been dealing with this graphics, they're graphics guys, but they really think that they're marketing guys, and I guess they are, But he kept telling me to stay away from anything that wasn't .com. He felt that a .net or anything like that was not. I don't know if he just didn't think it was as memorable or what his true reasoning was, but yeah.
So .com. I prefer .com, and Google prefers .com too. It shows preference to .coms. So that's true. I wouldn't say I'd stay away from it though if it's not a
Right.
.com. I'd stick with .com would be my number one choice. If we had pickledpig.com,
Yeah.
that would be easily number one.
Right.
Then,
Who's got that?
right now it says somebody had it but it's expired, or it's
From Alpha?
not being used.
Do they have a contact? Because you might be able to snag it from them. They might hold you hostage on it, but
In my history, like anytime somebody owns a domain and you want to try to buy it from them, minimum it's like $1,000 that they ask for these things,
Yeah.
and that's
Right
I
now,
don't-
that's robbery.
down the road, I would maybe make that investment. At this point, I'm definitely not there. My cash flow is not there right now to do that.
Exactly. It wouldn't be worth. I mean, the domain right now, people aren't going to. I don't think the awareness and traffic is going to be coming through the domain. We just need to have it. And if 6 months from now, or 3 months from now, if the .com falls off and we can pick it up, we'll snag it and we'll add it, and that can be our primary domain. The domain's something you can always change or adjust later. A good example of that is Square, the mobile payment reader.
Mm-hmm.
You have that?
We do. That's what we're going to be using.
Cool. I love it. I've had mine for a while and been using it. And they used to have, they didn't even have the Square.com domain at first. Somebody else had it.
Yeah.
They were using SquareUp.com, which plays into what they actually do. Like let's square up. Let's pay this off or whatever.
Sure.
Now they have they later acquired the Square.com domain too. I can actually look and see who has the Pickled Pig domain right now.
Yeah, I got it right now. It's Web Infusion Internet Solutions. That's where it's hosted, and you're gonna have to pay for it in pounds because it's in London.
Yeah, it looked like it was okay.
Fantastic.
That's what I got. I just use Wolfram Alpha.
Yeah, cool. We can look into the domain a little bit later, but I can see.
That's that's the flexible part. And
Yeah.
The initial aspect of it is, well, you want to do well, and then you want repeat business with your food. So you want people talking about your food, and you want to give them a platform to talk about it.
Sure.
So you definitely want to have an easy way for them to get connected. And I don't know how I personally feel about QR codes. I don't think anybody uses them, and I don't think anybody will navigate to you. And also Squarespace for logins, things like that. Eric knows. Eric actually has one in his house at his personal bar.
Foursquare.
So yeah. So
Yeah, Foursquare is with multiple locations. Foursquare is a location-based service that people can check in. I could check in right here now and let my friends know I'm at my office here. People could check in on their phone, tell their friends they're at the Pickled Pig. Then you'd have to have maybe 6 of your frequent spots sort of registered. Square is I might hold off on Square right now only because they're changing things a little bit. They just released a new app, but it is free to set it up and to get it rolling.
Yeah.
Probably worth 5 minutes to set it up though. You can then create. I've been big on Foursquare for a number of years. What you can then do as a business, you can create. So once you create the location, users can also create the location. But then you'll be sent, once you confirm your location with Foursquare, you'll be sent a little sticker which you can stick around the side of your truck, letting people know they can check in on Foursquare. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Letting people know they can check in, and then you can set a special where maybe the 5th check-in or when someone becomes mayor of your food truck, maybe they receive a free barbecue sandwich, or mayor can be hard to get, or half off a barbecue sandwich, or
Yeah.
so you create an incentive for them to check in frequently and to visit your trucks.
We definitely want to do that kind of stuff. We want to be giving away, a free sandwich a night, or if not more, a free T-shirt every once in a while once we get to the merchandising side. So I definitely believe in incentives and games and little marketing ploys to get people's interest that much more tweaked, to kind of bring them in. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like that option.
Yeah, I would check out Foursquare. I mean, the app is still live, and they've just introduced another one to go along with it.
Okay.
But Foursquare.com, and then you can create your profiles on there. You can always adjust the things later, like locations and things. But if you have like one or two main points,
Mhm.
or three main locations that you're at, or even six or whatever, you can create venues for each of those places. You enter the address, enter the info. You can upload you can upload photos, and then you click verify this business. Foursquare for each location will send you an envelope for you to verify it, and then you'll get a sticker that says I don't have one here right now, but it says check in here on Foursquare, and then you can set the specials that they would redeem by checking in. You can set specials based on the first check-in, based on the third check-in, to mayor's own, to the mayor only. There's only one mayor. The mayor is the person who checks in most frequently in a 7-day time period, in a 1-week time period, I think.
Your most rabid fan.
Yeah. So then the mayor would get a free, whatever you decide, a free whatever every time they check in as mayor.
I'm only getting into this for the food truck groupies, guys. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
And that's perfect for them because, and it's perfect for you too because the ancient Chinese secret of business is that 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your customer base.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. And those other 80, they come and they go, but the 20 kind of stick with you. They're your repeat customers. They're your groupies.
Right.
Well, Foursquare makes a lot of sense for you because it's mobile and because it, encourages people to stop back. What Patrick was saying is true. To go off that a little bit, the goal of any business really should be to, not everyone's going to be like this, but to encourage people to become so passionate about your brand, become those kind of people who want to check in and become mayor of your food truck, that they actually become brand advocates for you.
Right.
They're, in a sense, selling your food truck to their friends. You're
Yep.
not paying them to do that, but they just like you so much and they geek out about the food truck and the barbecue that they're selling themselves to their friends. And then they're checking in on Foursquare, and they're sharing it with Facebook, and they're taking pics, of themselves when they're there, maybe, and taking pics of their food. Really kind of wide open to the stuff you can do with it if you engage those people who are really passionate about your brand. I'm sure you have them already, your regulars,
Well, yeah, I mean, we hadn't even opened up the truck yet, but I definitely think we will. I mean, I've done some catering for some, I did actually 100 people, I guess, 3 weeks ago for a graduation party, and
Okay.
people were flipping out, just really, really coming back, getting another taco, and just being like, man, this is incredible. So I can definitely see that we will, not to toot my own horn, but I think we've got a product that's going to make a lot of people pretty fucking excited. So
You haven't opened the truck. You've been doing the catering right now, the location stuff.
Yeah, just basically my own stuff. So it's all the same stuff that's going to be served out of the truck. It was just me basically doing it as a favor for a relative. But it was still a good kind of a test market to see, see everything. Like, what did I need for that many people? Help me break down my cost per person.
I see.
And help me get true feedback to where, I didn't feel like people were bullshitting me,
Yeah.
Felt like I was getting true response from people, and they were pretty stoked. So,
That's good to hear.
yeah, no, I think once we get out there, that is my main concern though, is how often to keep up with the social media. So, I set up the website, and like you said, one page is probably fine. It just lists who we are, what we're about, our locations, and maybe a touch on the menu. The Facebook and the Twitter and the Foursquare, that's the kind of stuff where I don't have any experience whatsoever. So I know I need to engage people, and it can't just be a once a week thing. It needs to be, at least daily, I'm sure, to where I'm sending out, like I talked to Pat a little bit about this before. I'm sending out pictures of pigs, or I'm sending out stuff that has anything to do with what we do. Not necessarily just, hey, come see us at the corner of Smith and Johnson.
Yeah.
It's little fun facts about pigs, or it's a picture of our next special for the week that we're excited about, or
Exactly.
just need to know what's a good baseline for that,
As far as frequency or
Yeah, frequency,
content.
really. And,
Yeah.
well, both. Frequency and content, yeah.
Yeah, well, and Patrick and I have had these talks before, and yeah, that's right. I mean, not just the mistake that a lot of businesses make on social media and, well, advertising and business in general, but is they 100% of their content is visit us, buy us, this is all our great stuff, come and see us. That gets annoying really fast, like really
Sure.
fast. And on
Sure.
social media, if I'm following some business and they just keep talking about themselves, I'll unfollow them or I'll hide them or something. But if in business, conversely, if you're not doing that, but you're, like you said, sharing pig facts, that's funny, that's cool. Or the special for next week, or stuff that's not selling your truck directly, but relates
Right.
to it, and it's something that your fans might like and engage with.
Right.
Then it's still selling you, but like indirectly, because then they associate your page with a cool page to follow that shares fun, cool stuff. And, you got a cool food truck too. So it's
Yeah.
like your own little feed and your own little channel, really. Yeah.
Yeah, the basic thought is that, like, you don't go to your friend's party and try to sell shit, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
Well,
you go there to have a good time.
I got
And-
50 rocks I got to get rid of, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the frequency,
and we're in this relationship age where everyone's constantly on their mobile device. They're
Right.
constantly on Facebook. They're constantly following their Twitter feed. They're constantly. What did you say the percentage was on that, Eric? Was it 50%? Over 50% of internet usage is mobile now.
yeah, more than 50% is mobile. On Facebook, I think it's even higher. More people are accessing Facebook now on a smartphone than they are on the desktop.
Yeah.
So you need to have, so like the website that you build, the one pager, and it can be 3 pages too, but I mean really you probably don't need more than 1 page. I mean how,
Yeah.
you
I'm
probably
not going to give a history of, my going back to my great grandfather Jebediah that smoked meat in the 1800s or anything.
yeah, 'cause, I mean unless it's a really cool fun story, people probably don't care that as much as you might think. But
You should
it's a
make
cool
one
story,
up, like an origin story.
if it's a cool story, then put it on there because people like stories. They really
Yeah, no, if I had, I can make up some crazy bullshit for the hell of it.
do. I wouldn't. Well, I don't know if I'd recommend that, but if you do have a little story on there, tell your story. How you got this going. People like to hear that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's a story there of what made you want to do this. So about frequency of this stuff. Yeah, that's a good question too with the frequency. On Facebook, there is actually, you can post too much, and
For sure.
there's kind of a middle ground. I kind of like a daily kind of post is nice. You don't have to do necessarily daily on Facebook. I wouldn't do more than daily, at least over an average of the course of a week. Maybe on Wednesday you might post 2 or 3 things, but then you don't maybe post on Monday or something.
Okay.
Generally, on Facebook, the busiest times on Facebook are usually around the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time period.
Kind of building up into your weekend.
Yeah, and that's, if you look at the stats, That's generally the busiest times. But it doesn't mean nobody's on like Saturday and Sunday or Monday. Those are the busiest times. And it fits in with your bar thing too later in the week like that, so that, when you're outside of those bars. But the other thing is, if you take advantage of boosted or promoted content on Facebook, which is really beneficial and really cheap and for what you get, if instead of posting out a daily post and not boosting it, if you just post it out, it might reach, let's say you set this up and within a month or two we've acquired 100 likes on our page.
Mm-hmm.
If you just send a post out, just let it go organically without putting any money behind it, 100 likes, it might reach, depending on the time of day or the day, it might reach 5 to 10 people of your 100 likes. That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the only people that's going to show up on their screen. Facebook holds back the post. It doesn't let all your fans see the stuff. They do that, they say, because if they did, then your news feed would take, forever to get through, because there are 1.5 billion people on Facebook, and there are a lot of pages. So there's some truth to that. But the other reason is they want to make money, as a business.
Sure.
And you can't really fault them for that. I mean, that would be like people complaining about they have to pay for your food.
Sure.
So I don't fault them for that. And luckily, the deal on boosting content on Facebook and advertising on Facebook is really kind of amazing. I've done even putting $5 behind a post. There was a hotel here in State College, near Penn State, that I was working on. It was graduation weekend here at Penn State, and our page was still really young. We had about 30 or 40 likes on our page. I put out a post just congratulating the graduates of Penn State. I put $5 behind it. Let me pull up the stats on that and show you what that did. It's really kind of it's a great deal.
Yeah, and what he's doing right now, he's pulling up stats. He's looking at numbers. He's not like, that's what you can do for yourself.
Right. Actually see what that translates to.
Instead of just like guesstimating and throwing money and stuff, it's like you actually know what you're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not this thing where you can just get an intern or some person that doesn't really know the ins and outs of it to do it. Because that's what businesses do now. They just hire whoever who uses social media to be there to do it. They don't really know the in-depth, they don't even know the structure of the way things work a lot of time. But what are those stats you found?
So those stats, the page had maybe like 40 likes. It was well under 100 likes on this page when I did this. Had a big event coming up, graduation weekend. I sent out a message. Wasn't selling the hotel at all. There's no reason for us to, on graduation weekend, for us to advertise. I mean, unless people want to not go home or something. So I sent out a well-worded post. Congratulations, Penn State graduates. We hope you enjoyed your stay at Penn State University. So I kind of tied it into the hotel thing with your stay at Penn State University. Put $5 behind that. Put a picture of Old Main on there. $5, I boosted it for that weekend. So you can choose the number of days you want to boost it to. $5 for 2 days. And it reached almost 1,300 people.
Wow.
8 actions. 7 people liked the post. There was 1 comment on there. And all for $5. Besides that, so you see the stats then of that post. I was going to try to show you the screen, but I think it'd be too blurry. You can see, so those stats, engagement, you can see even the age and gender of the people who engaged in that post.
Wow.
This post engagement, just as an example, had 83% of the people who engaged in the post were women, 17% were men. It even breaks it down to demographically what ages they were, and the countries where the people who engaged in it, where their country or city or something, where they were from. This does country. And we reached people. You can target people too. So you can, if
You
we
can
want
go
to.
after certain demographics if you want.
Yep. So if you wanted to, if you're outside a bar, this Friday night or next Friday, and you want to boost a post letting people know you're going to be outside this bar, you can target people in that city, aged 21 to 34, male and female, and you can target it just for that one day or that weekend. However long you're going to be in that area. For $5, so that was $5, and it reached 1,300 people. Got 8 people to engage in the content somehow.
Amazing.
Well worth it. With a page that had like 40 likes.
Yeah.
The most important piece of the puzzle are those initial likes.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to fish for those, and I guess in the beginning you really need to fish for those too, don't you? I mean, especially when I'm getting sales and I've got my face-to-face interaction, and someone gives me a compliment. Oh, that's great, man. I'm really glad that you enjoy it. If you don't mind, why don't you go on Facebook and give me a like, or kind of try to
Tell your friends online.
Yeah, squeeze that out of them as much as possible.
Yeah, and once you create the Facebook page, did you start it yet?
No, I have. I got to do that too this weekend.
Once you do, the easiest way to get likes on Facebook, you can pay for them, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like if it was my money, I wouldn't pay for likes on Facebook. It takes way too long. It's just way too costly. It costs so much. Easiest way is to like the page yourself, obviously, and invite your friends to like it.
Yeah.
Family or whatever. Say, hey guys, invite your friends to like this page. And I had a page I was managing here, theprinters.com, KB Offset. It's a local printer. We were advertising. We spent, I think, upwards of $300 or more to try to acquire these likes on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike boosted posts, it can be really cost effective. Here's what happened. So we spent $300 to $400, and we only were able to manage 46 likes for that.
Wow.
Might have even been more than that we spent. Now, I suggested the owner of this business was a little reluctant to join Facebook himself because he thinks it's creepy, and I suggested to him, I said, Ray, you should sign up for Facebook and then invite your friends to like the page and have your wife do the same thing. He did that, and looking at the stats right now, in 6 days, we were up to 142.
Wow.
Just for free. I mean, it just took his time to go and invite, and he didn't even have any friends. He was starting from zero on Facebook.
Wow.
Now, if you're on Facebook and you've got friends already, you got a head start. That's the best way to do it. 100 likes is like the first. I like to see that. 100, 200, 300. Once you get up into like the 5 and some hundred likes, you can really, if you throw $5 at a boosted post and you have 500 likes, you can do a lot of damage. You can reach a lot of people. And then 2 different ways you can advertise those boosts. You can advertise to a specific demographic, which is the only option at first. You can advertise to people in your city. But then as you get more likes, I think you need 30 or 40 likes. Once you get them, let's say you're up to 500 likes, you can advertise that boosted post, letting people know you're going to be outside this bar Friday. You can advertise that boosted post for $5 to your 500 likes and their friends. So then you're not just hoping those people you're paying for are interested. They've already liked your page.
Right.
And friends. So there's a good chance their friends are going to like your page because they're probably local too.
Yeah.
They probably like food and barbecue. Who doesn't? So that's why it's really powerful and important to get those likes. I wouldn't recommend paying for them. I'd recommend spending the 3 months or whatever to keep sending out those invites and use your own friends and try to grow those without paying for it because it's just so costly.
Yeah. And the the aspect of social media is just one avenue. It's not the avenue, even though it is powerful today. It's you
Right.
still gotta think about the traditional avenue, and because this is so cost effective in the beginning, in starting out, and you're not putting any money into it, you have money to then go out and take out radio. Radio is not dead. The takeout, actually newspapers starting to die. Wouldn't you say, Eric? That's
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend newspaper, and I sold radio for 4 years. I could tell you how to do radio, but I mean, with a new business starting up, I'd really be, I try to, each client I work with, I try to think of it like it's my own money, and would I spend money on this? Definitely wouldn't in the newspaper. Not because it wouldn't work, but just because it's where at your position. You'd have to understand how it would work, and it would have to be for a very specific event, a very big, important event.
Right.
If say there's a music festival or something, okay, coming up this weekend, and you're going to have a food cart next to across the street.
Right.
Maybe you would run an ad in a music fest magazine or that newspaper's coverage of the music fest, letting people know you're going to be there. On the other hand, if it's a big event like that, maybe you just skip the ad and you just show up and start waving your sign, letting them know you're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot. That's the thing I'm going to have to judge is what do I really need to alert people to, and what is just foot traffic alone going to bring to my front door, and that'll really just happen, I think, over time and experience, and knowing what it takes, when to use it, when it doesn't really matter. It's not going to bring much to the game. So now Twitter is something I'm definitely not familiar with whatsoever. I kind of understand it, but I know people use it in the same way to do marketing and stuff like that, but I don't get it.
Do you have the Pickled Pig handle?
No.
Here's what I would recommend. When you I'd probably grab a Twitter handle, but Twitter is really more of a news source. Maybe we can use it then to let people know, hey, we just set up shop at the corner of wherever. We're going to be here until so-and-so, and keep tweeting out. So it's a news vehicle. It's a news outlet. So use it for that, for news.
A little bit more real time, and I can blow that up more than Facebook. I can, hey, we were here at this bar between 9 and 10. Now we're headed over to, whatever.
Yeah. It's much easier to do that on Facebook, and Twitter doesn't limit the content. Everybody who follows you is going to see your stuff. So that's nice. But yeah, you can send out. There's still overkill. I mean, you could probably still end up tweeting too much, but you could send out 5 tweets in one day, and that wouldn't be too much. Whereas if you did that on Facebook, I would be like, all right, I get it. I know where you're at. Just stop Facebook.
I'm not going to follow you anymore.
But
I've got some guys right now borderline, dude. There's some people on Facebook right now. I'm either shitting in a box and send it to them, or I'm defriending them. I'm not sure yet.
You can also just not follow their posts.
Follow them.
I don't know. I think shitting in a box and sending it to them is much more fun. But
yeah.
So a couple things we skipped over, and then we'll talk about the handles too that Patrick mentioned.
Yeah.
So getting likes or followers or whatever you want to call them, fans. That takes time too, and it's the best way is organically, naturally, on Facebook, inviting your friends. On the truck, some of these places like Foursquare, I told you, they'll send you a sticker for free you can put on your truck. Get that. You can get, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have something made, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, to have a little social thing on your truck, because those are all people that are buying from you.
Right.
You want to stay connected with them. So you connect online. The other, so that's probably the thing I'd recommend. Telling people, hey, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Put that stuff on your website too, because you don't want to have to every person say, hey, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check in on Foursquare. maybe you just tell them, hey, go to our website and stay connected.
Yeah.
And it's all there. And you can put a feed on your website too,
Yeah. Big
where
bu-
a live feed or a live widget, it'll show the activity right on your website. It'll show your Facebook feed. It'll show your Twitter feed. You'll have a little, social icon on there. I could help you out with that stuff. It's pretty easy.
Cool.
Here's another thing about the domain name, and this relates to the URL that Patrick was talking about. Like consistency is really key if you can get it. Maybe I just looked up this domain name. Maybe we get a little creative because I do like the .com over. I agree with your the people you're talking to. I like the .com over the others if you can find one. So maybe we add a little something to the beginning of the Pickled Pig. I just looked up Get Pickled Pig. That's available. GetPickledPig.com. Little play on words too. Get Pickled.
Get pickled. Just get pickled.
Get Pickled. Get Pickled. I don't know if Get Picked's available, but GetPickledPig.com is available.
Okay.
And then it works, Get Pickled Pig. Like,
Yeah.
get some food from us.
Yeah.
And then, so whatever that domain is, if you like that, I'd buy that right away. You can actually, if you Google GoDaddy 99-cent domain, you can get that domain for 99 cents for the first year. And then years thereafter.
I just spent 86 at GoDaddy to get 2 years of the picklepighouston.com.
$86?
Yeah. That's I guess the ability to create the website with them as well, though.
Ah.
Okay, yeah. You don't, let's see. I mean, that's okay. You wouldn't necessarily need to do that with GoDaddy, though. Well, if you have the domain, you can build your site elsewhere. But GoDaddy probably has a fine builder. What are their monthly fees for the website?
I want to say it was like $5.99 for the.
$5.99 a month. Okay.
Yeah, for like the no tech savvy guy like myself to create and to keep it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad. That's fine. That's a fair price, and I'm sure their website builder is fine. I haven't used it personally, but it looks fine.
Yeah, there's you can grab a coupon code and.
So what's cool about that? Luckily, you could still get pickledpig.com, and that what you just purchased, the 2 years worth, you can use that one with the new domain.
Yeah.
You set it up to go to that. If you like getpickledpig.com, that's available. Think of the other thing. I mean, Go Pickled Pig, whatever. You can kind of come up with whatever you want for that. But then once you've established that domain, it would be smart, whatever that domain is, Get Pickled Pig, let's say it's that. Then I would work on setting up my social channels. I'd set up the Facebook page, set the URL to facebook.com/getpickledpig, Twitter @getpickledpig, Foursquare, Get Pickled Pig, the consistency. Then, in marketing materials or in face-to-face, it's really easy. Follow us online @Get Pickled Pig. And it covers every channel because you've got the same URL. And it's your domain name. It just makes it simple. It's not a necessity, but it just makes it a lot easier.
Sure. No, I like congruency. I don't want people to get confused, and there's so much shit people have to keep in their head, even when it's just dealing with their mobile devices. That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. So you've got the domain package, the business package on GoDaddy.
Yeah.
I don't know that builder.
What's that?
But I've never used GoDaddy's builder before.
It's probably like a simple drag and drop kind of thing. It looks pretty cool. And the site will look good.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a fine. I think I messed around with it once actually. They're all pretty much the same, like drag and drop. You don't need to know how to code or anything. You just kind of plug in the pieces wherever you want them. You can do a Twitter widget on there. I see that. Facebook widget you can do on there. They seem like they make it easy for you. Another thing too that's important is for content on these social channels. Let's say you're set up at the corner of a bar, try to get some pics of the truck. Get pics of the people, in line, getting your food. Push it to Facebook. Push it to Twitter. See your customers actually purchasing stuff from you and interacting. And push that content out online. That's great content. Encourage people to check in. Encourage people to take their own photos and post them to Foursquare.
Yeah.
And then 6 months from now, you'd have a pretty sweet little Foursquare account, because you'd have, special on there. You'd have pics from your customers. You'd have a mayor, and then people, even if there's no reward sometimes, having a Foursquare thing, I do this all the time. The old Foursquare, as long as they don't change this, it'll show you how many mayorships you have. Mayor of
Dolly's Wash House.
I was mayor of a local laundromat here for a while, and so then you start to have fun with the other people that check in to the same locations. And
yeah, they even left us a helpful hint. They're like, don't go out after 11 because the door's automatically locked. Like, you'll get locked out.
That was actually a tip of Dolly's Wash House. It said, don't leave Dolly's Wash House go to your car after 11 because the door's locked. I saw that. I'm like, no shit. Well, that's good to know. Anyway, but
that's awesome.
What I was getting at is people who are checking in at your Pickled Pig food truck, even if there's no reward, the people, your most frequent customers, they're going to sort of battle it out to try to become mayor. It's a trend called gamification. Like, they're making a game out of something that's not really a game. Like, they want to be mayor of your food truck just because, like, they want to be mayor.
That's hilarious.
But that's a cool trend that's happening. But then there's also a physical reward where you might have a special for the mayor too.
Yeah.
And I think the foodies and the hipsters are really going to dig the mobile centric thing that you're going with.
Yeah, mobile's big. You can do a lot on social media. I mean, there's so many social channels. I would probably start small. You'd be safe to secure them all if you want to. I mean, if you want to go out, you've got a few hours to kill some Sunday or something, and you want to go out, and once you've decided on your URL, your domain, if it's Get Pickled Pig, go out and secure that URL on YouTube, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Instagram. Instagram's popular with the younger generation, and that would be a really cool network for you too. Secure the URL, because once you've got that URL, nobody else can take it. You don't want 6 months from now to be, oh shit, we should launch an Instagram. Oh, the URL's already taken. That sucks. Right. You'd work around it, but if they're free, grab them, and then work on updating later. It's really time consuming and stressful to try to manage them all at one time. So I would probably start small. I would start with Facebook. Have a Foursquare set up. Luckily, that doesn't take any management because it's user generated. The users check in. The users redeem the rewards. The users become mayor. When they become mayor, they're up at the food truck. They're like, hey, I just became mayor. Here's my screen. It's a confirmation screen. And you're like, all right, thanks. And then if there's somebody else working the truck or whatever, let them know how that works and show them the screen. So Foursquare is 100% user generated after you set it up.
Awesome.
So Foursquare or Facebook rather, maybe Twitter. That's maybe what I would go with. Facebook, Twitter. Twitter though too is maybe a longer term project because it takes a while to get Twitter followers.
Sure.
So I would maybe look at that as set it up, tweet when you're at a location, but don't devote a whole lot of time to Twitter. Focus on Facebook, because in a month we could have 200 Facebook fans in a month.
Right.
If you invite your friends and if you try to encourage that to happen. More likely in a month, 50 to 100, but that's a heck of a lot easier than getting Twitter followers. So let's look at Twitter as more of a long-term thing. Facebook, jump on right away. Other ones maybe Instagram is pretty fun and easy to set up.
Okay.
Pinterest plays really well to what you're doing too. I don't think you'd probably be too active on Pinterest. Just guessing.
No.
Pinterest is about 70% female users. I
Yeah,
love.
I know my sisters and my mom, and they're huge into it. Yeah.
How much of your it's probably 50-50. Maybe not. Well, yeah, it's probably 50-50. But what percentage of your customers? I guess you're doing catering now, but what do you envision it's going to be the breakdown, men, women?
Uh, that's tough. I'm guessing 60-40. Probably more men than females. I'm thinking. Um, a lot of our stuff is 1,500 calories, man, for one item. So
Yeah, I didn't know. I've never looked it up for barbecue or anything demographically. So 60-40. I mean, so then even if we're catering to the 40% with Pinterest,
right.
it's not exclusively females. There are a lot of guys on Pinterest. Like I said, I love it. And so what we can do with Pinterest
Yeah,
is,
I know you're gay.
yeah, because I'm on Pinterest.
Trying to lighten the mood here. You're dropping all this knowledge and this good advice.
Well, this is fun for me though, guys. That's what you don't get. Like, I'm having fun here.
I appreciate it, man. You guys really help.
Oh, no problem. So, Facebook. I love Instagram. At this bar scene, so younger generation, you're going after too, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, 20 somethings.
Yeah, we'll be set up around we're going to be set up around a college as well for like morning and lunch.
Cool.
So that's 18 to 22, 23-year-olds. So I know they'll be super hip to all of the social media, a lot more than some.
Well, then I would probably, if I'm gonna, and I like starting out with like a three network approach because it's just easier to manage that way. Set them all up on all these channels if you can once you come up with your URL. But I would go with Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Instagram, really popular with the 20 to 30-year-olds and younger even. And it's pretty cool. It's all visual. You're going to be taking cool pictures of your truck, of the, of food, of, we can share some pig stuff or some whatever barbecue stuff. Hashtags are huge on Instagram. I could hashtag. Let me just right now live. I'll pull up Instagram and I will hashtag barbecue and see how many people are have hashtag barbecue. It's essentially real time, but I will see how many hashtags are barbecue right now. So we might do a post of, you're set up, you're on the corner, you're ready to go. Hashtag barbecue, hashtag food, hashtag whatever, and then take a pic of your thing, send it to your followers. And if someone's searching for hashtag barbecue, if you just did that, even if they're not following you, you're going to come up on their Instagram feed if they're looking at hashtag barbecue.
Right.
Right now, hashtag barbecue, I know you can't see it, but hashtag barbecue, this is just on Instagram right now, like all time, there are almost 6 million posts that have been hashtag barbecue.
Wow.
And the most recent one was posted 6 seconds ago. Let's see if that's even updated now. Yep. Yeah, okay, so 11 seconds ago. That's still it's some guy eating dinner. He's got barbecue set up. He did that 11 seconds ago now. Hashtag barbecue. I could follow him now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could follow him and then I'd see his content. Hashtags are huge. Next to Twitter, Twitter's great for real-time hashtags, but besides real-time, hashtags are my favorite on Instagram. And it's another way that you could build up in a month or two, just hashtagging the barbecue, food, foodie, popular hashtags related to that stuff. You could acquire a lot of followers, just people passionate about barbecue, food, about, pig, roast, whatever it is. And startup too. So you can play into this is a startup thing for you. You're an entrepreneur. You could play into that scene with hashtag startup, hashtag entrepreneur, and find maybe other entrepreneurs who aren't setting up food trucks, but who are, like myself, getting into freelance social media stuff. Then find that passion. It's about finding passions that people are into, finding their passions.
Sure.
Whether it's directly a passion for barbecue or just a startup,
Yeah.
Anyway, so then Pinterest, though. Here's what we would do on Pinterest. You have boards on Pinterest, or like a board. Well, you said you're, people close to you on Pinterest, probably mostly females, but I love it.
Patrick, he's a big fan too.
What's that?
I said, except for Patrick, he's always putting up his latest cherry pie pics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let me look up the latest Pinterest.
I don't even think I have. Actually, I think I do have a Pinterest login now. Somebody talked me into it.
All right, yeah, it's 7. I was right on. It's 70%, about 70% female, 30% male. But that's cool. That's fine. Like, you're gonna have, let's say, at least 40% of your customers gonna be female, even if it's 30. Don't ignore them.
Sure.
30. I did some research on beer drinkers. 30% of beer drinkers are female. And I feel like a lot of advertising ignores them.
True.
They're getting into it a little more. You see some female-targeted beer ads, but don't ignore that demographic. But Pinterest even will work with, even if 40% of your customers are female, it's gonna still work with the males too, because it's a cool thing. So how I would do that is I would build a Pinterest account, and you can have boards on there, like maybe some of your favorite barbecue recipes. Maybe it's not even stuff you make. Maybe it's just fun barbecue recipes. Maybe it's not even pork or whatever. Maybe it's other stuff too. Maybe a quote board on there. Some of your favorite quotes that you like. But then also have boards on there like our roast or live pickled pig roast, and you have pics of when you're outside. When you're set up live thing. Customers, our customers, or maybe you have holiday whatever, maybe catering, have a catering board. So different little albums really is what they are. But keeping in mind, just like the content we share on Facebook, remember that not all of it should relate directly to you, but stuff that maybe other Pinterest users might find interesting or engaging. Because the thing with Pinterest is, the whole point of it, people repin things that they find interesting. So if you put one of your favorite barbecue recipes up there, maybe it's something you came up with, make a cool graphic out of it, people are going to repin that. They're like, wow, that sounds really good. I want to try that. I'm going to pin that to my board so I can save it for later.
And it's got your URL maybe watermarked on the bottom of the picture.
Sure, yeah. And actually,
or a hashtag with it.
If it's your content, like if you have a recipe, which I'm sure you do have recipes for this stuff, in the image you can save getpickledpig.com. You can save that URL in the image. Every time that gets repinned, unless they choose to remove that URL, it gets repinned with that URL. So every time that gets repinned across Pinterest, when somebody clicks that image, it's going to go to getpickledpig.com.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool. I've seen stats actually where Pinterest has been driving more traffic to some sites than any of the other social networks for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's my spiel. I got a little kind of all over the place. Do you have any questions or anything on that stuff? Or
No, man. I think you really covered it pretty clearly and substantially. So no, man, I'm good. I got some notes here. I think it's just now me taking really the time today and tomorrow to kind of get this stuff going. And yeah, no, I think you guys shed some good light on this, man. I really appreciate the time, and you guys need to come down and get some barbecue.
Yeah, that's right.
Eric, how much would you normally charge for one of these advising sessions?
An advising session like this? Well, I mean, I kind of have nothing really. I consider these like I gotta show my worth. If someone's gonna do business with me, I gotta show them that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm passionate about something like this. Down the road, if I get into doing some sort of educational thing like this, I might charge like a couple $100 down the road for something like this. But right now, I'm proving myself, and I got to show people that I know what I'm talking about, and that I care about, that they care about social media and advertising. But if you were to put a price tag, a couple $100, kind of a deal, on a quick, how long have we been doing this? I don't know, 30 minutes. I'm working on about $45 an hour for my social stuff. So whatever that rate is. This is a little more intense though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you know anybody else that needs help, give us a shout. Or give
Yeah,
us a shout.
I definitely will, and I'll tell you down the road if I need some refresher courses or tutorials, I'd be more than happy to pay you a fee to do that. You know, I'm sure down the road I will need some tweaking and some kind of upgrades on taking it to the next level possibly. So,
Yeah, and if you are interested in any of that stuff, I mean, I right now got only a couple clients. I only just started doing this freelance thing about a month ago. I've got one client where I'm managing his social channels. I'm managing his Facebook and his Instagram and advising a little bit. Him I've got on 120 a month for managing his Facebook and his Instagram, doing a few updates a week on that. And then another one I don't know if you're familiar with this market at all, but the Student Bookstore, it's a local, popular, independent local bookstore here for Penn State. I'm pretty much just advising them, sort of like what we just did here, but I'm doing that regularly and telling them what they should be doing. I'm not managing anything for them. Got them on $199 a month. So those are kind of my my packages. I can either do the stuff, or I can advise, I can see what you've got going on and recommend and say, hey man, maybe you should post some more of this kind of content. Let's check these stats, boost this post. And pretty much just what I just did here, just ongoing.
yeah,
If you were to log, if you wanted me to sort of be a consultant to you while you get this stuff set up, come to me with questions and stuff. That's the kind of thing that I do, that I'm planning on doing.
cool.
Yeah, and once you're set up, let us know and we'll check you out. We'll
Yeah,
definitely check you out and see how your navigation's going at least.
yeah. Once I get these set up and we actually start getting going, I'll definitely shoot you
make all
guys.
your beta users.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, once I get it together, I can shoot you guys all the info, and you can definitely give me some feedback and
For
you know.
sure.
Then you should sign up for a Gmail account, man.
Yeah, you actually should. I didn't mention Google Plus, but down the road, Google Plus, I mean, what you're doing is very local. People need to be at your truck to benefit, for you to benefit from them. But
Right.
Google Plus is a really cool network where the entire network is really centered around passions and communities, and it's a cool network. I mean, this Hangouts, they're trying to make Google Plus more like real life.
Yeah.
That's what the Google Plus communities are like, conventions for people with like interests. Whereas Facebook is kind of like a yearbook of your friends and family that you don't maybe want to really see, but you're on all the time. Google Plus is really a convention. When you go to a Google Plus community, is what it's called, you can search for startup communities, barbecue, food communities, people who just love food or recipes or baking or cooking, or startups, and you'll find all these people who are in the business, who are starting up a business, who are passionate about food or passionate about home cooking or recipes, and really a cool network. And so they're trying to make it like real life, like you at a convention, a food convention, or this hangout is actually, the purpose of this is to be more like real life. This is a live hangout we're doing. If you see down at the bottom, I believe we have one viewer right now, so somebody is actually watching this. This is meant to be like where we just bumped into each other. We coordinated this, but we coordinated hanging out together like we would hang out on the street, on a street corner, let's say. And if one of our friends actually just walked down the street, they caught us hanging out, they could jump in and hang out with us. That's what's happening right now with that one viewer. They've been toggling.
You got a viewer?
Yeah, right now somebody's viewing. It shows somebody's viewing.
Oh. Where?
It did 0 a second ago. Can you guys see that stat or no?
No, I can't.
Maybe
Okay,
since
because I created see it.
Yeah.
Because I created it, I can see it. So I think somebody is actually tuned into this right now. So the purpose of these Hangouts is for other people that are geeky about whatever. I name my Hangout social media and advertising. So whoever watched this was also able to enjoy this fun talk we just had about social media.
Cool.
That's the point. Other people can jump in. But it's a cool network too. For you though, because of the nature of your thing being very local, maybe down the road. But like all the other networks, feel free to sign up for a Google Plus page for your business, for your truck. But then just let it sit. Try to secure the URL and let it sit. With any of this stuff, feel free to reach out to me and ask me, hey Eric, I'm stuck here, or I'm having trouble with this. What do I do? Help me out. I'll help you out. I like this stuff, and I like helping people out with it.
Cool.
A lot of
I
fun.
appreciate that.
So have Patrick, if you don't already have it, have him get you my all my info.
Okay. Will do.
Cool.
Guys, I appreciate it, man. I'll let you sign off. I'm sure everyone's got stuff to do, or at least a couch to get back to. So.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, man. Nice meeting you. Nice chatting with you.
Very much so, man. Thanks again. And Pat, I'll holler at you in a bit here and get his info, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, man. And set up a Gmail. I swear.
I will. I will. First thing.
Good time. And I sent you a link to my website on Facebook, so you can check it out and see what Wix does. But
Okay.
since you paid so much for GoDaddy, I would go with GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, use GoDaddy. That'd be fine for you. That's fair.
Cool. All right,
I'd love
guys. Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
All right. Y'all be good.
You too.
Bye.
Take care, man.
See ya.